Hello the internet, my name's Laura and welcome back to my channel. Today is sort of an exciting little thing because I have plant mail. That's right, I have gotten more plant mail, and this plant mail is different from every other plant mail I have ever gotten. Do you want to know why? Because this box might be empty. Okay, so it's time for a little bit of a story. So I did my wish list, you guys saw recently, and after I did my wish list, I went around and I started pricing some plants because I was just I had priced some of them and then others of them I knew whatever, and some of them I couldn't find, blah, blah, blah. I ended up on eBay finding one of my wish list plants. I had only looked on Etsy, I think, for it before then, and so I went on eBay and I found it, and it was actually a pretty decent price. The problem was that it lives in Poland. I think it was Poland. I've now blacked out the address, so I can't actually tell where it came from, but it came from some country over in Europe. It had the general disclaimer of, if it gets caught in customs, you're not going to get a refund and blah, blah, blah. And the price for the plant and the shipping ended up being low enough that I was like, I'll give it a shot. Because if I get the plant, then that will be great. And if I don't get the plant, then I'm out. It was about 25 bucks. So not super horrible, but. And so they said they were shipping it. It was supposed to get here a couple, last week. And then I was like, well, it's going to get caught in customs. So that's, whatever. And I thought it had already gotten, because I'm pretty sure the only thing in here is a plant. So if they're going to catch it at customs, they're going to catch it at customs, right? And then I didn't hear anything for about a week, and I'm like, okay, it's gone, and I've lost it. And then I got an update saying that it was going to be delivered today, actually. I think the update actually came today, and I was like, all right, so I'm looking at it, and I have no idea. It doesn't look like it's been opened, but I don't know. So you and I are going to open it together. And we're going to see if there's actually a plant in here. And if there isn't, I do have a second plant mail. And I'll tell you the story about that one after we've opened this one. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna tilt you guys down because I know you want to see right away whether or not there's anything in this package. I want to see whether or not there's anything in this package. Oh, there's newspaper. Okay, nothing there. However, foreign newspaper. Huh. I cannot read. Oh, I think it's actually in here. Holy crap, it is. Not packaged well at all. And definitely dried out. Oh my gosh, it's here though. Okay, so this is, I don't remember the name of it, but this was the wish list plant. I'm going to put it on the screen. This is the wish list plant that was the one that was, it's got the really, really fuzzy silver leaves. And you can see those are the really, really fuzzy silver leaves. This plant is a little bit of a succulent in that, or it's not a succulent, but it's got this, it's got a bulb out of which everything grows. So I'm going to stick this in water and try and rehydrate it. I'm pretty sure all of the leaves are going to die, and we're going to see if the plant itself stays alive. Yeah, so now we're going to see if we can keep this plant alive. It did actually come though, so all right, let me go stick this in some water. Okay, so I have it in this little thing. I'm gonna have to look up some care on it because truthfully, like I said, I wasn't really expecting it to get here. So I'm gonna have to look up a little bit on what exactly I need to do to take care of this. I think I remember reading that they're a lot like African violets in their care needs, so we're gonna see. But right now, we'll see if it survives. I kind of hope it does. And I will keep you guys updated as I attempt to revive this plant a little bit. Okay, so just a little bit shocked. Kind of cool that was able to get here, and hopefully it has no pests that are going to take over the United States and destroy it even faster than it's destroying itself. Okay, so this is my other thing. So I told you guys that I was getting some begonias. What happened was, story time. I went on Steve's Leaves as I usually do on Friday, and I was looking around for some stuff, and I saw a plant, and I decided to get it. And then I saw another plant, and I decided to get it, and I was like, okay, so this is, you know, this is going to be, you know, my big shopping for a while. And then I went on Saturday to the nurseries, and I ended up getting the peperomia and the photonia, right? And so at that point, I had spent money on this little guy that I didn't know whether it was coming or not, and I had bought 2 begonias from Steve's Leaves, and then I had bought the 2 plants from there, and I was like, okay, can't do any more other plants for a while. Then I was on Etsy on Saturday night looking through begonias because that's what I do. I look at other plants too, but I was looking at begonias, and I saw this plant, and I had to get it. After, you know, telling myself that I had spent way too much on plants and that I really needed to take a break for a little while, I told myself that I had to get this plant. And I'll explain to you why. I guess I should have been opening it as I was explaining all of that. That would have been the smart thing to do. Hopefully it won't take too long. It's a big box though, because I only ordered the 1 plant. Oh, Okay, down. Whoop. All right, so this is Find Us in the Forest. Got a couple papers in here. It's probably like how to take care of this. Let's see what it says. Thank you for your order. It's a nice little card. Thank you for your order. Okay, and then it's, yep, it is my receipt and how to take care of a Rex begonia. All right. Okay, I got it. So here is the plant. So, the thing that caught me about this plant was not necessarily the color, though the color did catch me. It's the fact that this plant has the same leaf structure as my Begonia breakdance. It's got the really wide stem that comes up and then the curls. And I have never seen another plant with that leaf shape that was not super, super dark. Because like my Begonia breakdance is, you know, dark colored, the dark greens. And then I have my Black Fancy, which is that same, but I've never seen one that was this color. And this plant is obviously suffering a bit from the shock of shipping, and the leaves are very limp and not colored right now, but it's got the green, it's got pink all around the outsides. I wonder if one of these other leaves looks a little, yeah, you can't really see it. And then it's got all these different sized silver sparkles all over it. And so when I saw that it was the shape of the Begonia breakdance, the color of the leaves caught me, sure. But then when I saw that it was also the leaf shape of my Begonia breakdance, I was like, I have never seen this plant before, nor have I seen one like it. And the person, the listing didn't have what this is. Like, it doesn't have a name. It just said Rex Begonia on it. So I couldn't necessarily look up this plant and find another one. And so I was just like, I have to get this because I might never see it again. But packaged really well. It's definitely a little, shell-shocked from the shipping. And then the pot is obviously a little, the soil is still actually pretty damp. I feel like I should water it though, because maybe it's just in shock from the shipping. It'll perk up. But I just had to, even after having spent so much money on all this other stuff, I just had to get this guy. Maybe you can see it better with some more light. Yeah, the leaves, I wouldn't be surprised if these leaves are just going to kind of die. They're not seeming all that healthy. But, the plant looks fine. I think these have just been through some stress, so. Got two of my little plants that have been through a little bit of rough shipping, it looks like. And so now I'm going to have to nurse them back to health, which I can do. And this video is obviously going to continue when I get I'm supposed to get the Steve's Leaves box tomorrow, so we're going to see, I'll unbox that and have that all be part of one video. And then if these guys start perking up or not tomorrow, oh man, these leaves are really so fuzzy. I hope this plant lives. I really hope this plant lives. You can do it, little plant. You can do it. And I know you're going to live, because there's really no reason that you're going to be in trouble. But anyway, yes, so those are my unboxings for now, and then I will be back for you guys in a couple of seconds with tomorrow's unboxing. And so for now, I'm going to look up what I can find on this guy to make sure that I am properly caring for him, and hopefully he will perk back up. Okay, see you guys in a couple of seconds. And I'm back. I totally did not forget that I was getting a package today and had my plant sitting outside at 8 o'clock at night while it was getting cold. Of course not. So anyway, okay, this is the package from Steve's Leaves. And these are two begonias. I go to Steve's Leaves most every Friday. And I saw one of these and I was like, I didn't really want to get it. And then I kind of walked away from it, and then I came back, like convinced myself that I did want it. Oh, this is new. Oh, they got like, it's a little card, and then it's got the what to do when your order arrives like on the back. So it's kind of like a nice little thing. Wrapped by Janet, boxed by Ryan. Anyway, and so I got the one plant, and okay, so this first plant, they've actually got the name, the little card on here. I'm not gonna, I ended up getting it because it was pink, and because it has leaves like my Griffin Begonia. And so I was like, oh, that's just really cool. Oop, that is getting everywhere. Interesting. Okay, so this is Begonia Benitochiba. It was made by a Japanese horticulturalist, and so the name is pronounceable because it is Japanese. And I got this plant because it reminded me of it kind of has the leaf pattern of the Griffin Begonia, the older one that they obviously had a picture of. Reminded me of that a lot. But it's really interesting because I'm looking, and this leaf right there just looks like it's all connected. And then this leaf over here, you can see it's kind of segmented up. And so I'm not sure, it might just be like a young leaf versus an older leaf thing, which I think is really kind of interesting. But obviously the older plants the older plant has the leaves like this, only they get longer like my Griffin Begonia. And the color on this is like all this silver is eventually turns pink when it gets a good amount of light. You can kind of see it a little bit on this guy here. So but anyway, I got this guy because I tried to walk away from it and then couldn't. And then I was like, oh, ooh, is that, oh my God. That is a slug. There was a slug on my plant. Wow, from Steve's Leaves. I'm a little disappointed. Huh. Well, we're going to have to check for any other. I mean, isn't that weird? Oh, anyway, the plant looks great. You know, I have no qualms with this. That's interesting that the slug got in there somehow. Okay. And then after I got that one, because I decided I needed to get that one, I went back to the website later on in order to find another plant, because I was like, I'm already paying shipping, you know, if there's something else. Problem is that I forgot to go back to the website until after like 8, and I'm like, there's not going to be anything there. But I went anyway. And I'm going through the list of all the plants that they have still in stock, and I saw this one, and I like, it caught my eye, not because it was very fancy looking, but because it looked familiar. And this is Begonia Withlacucci. Begonia Withlacucci. And what I realized is that this is a Begonia Brazilian lady. that just happens to be its legit name. And so one of my wish list plants ended up being on Steve's leaves, like a week or two after I put it on my wish list. And since I had already gotten one plant, I was like, oh, well, I'm definitely getting this. And so this one, it's not, you know, it's not like super fancy looking, like the leaves are just kind of, but I just love the green and then how you can kind of see the red like almost through and on the edges of it. Plus it's like apparently it's a trailing begonia. It's going up right now, but I think eventually once these get long enough, they're going to start trailing. And it apparently flowers like fairly consistently. So even the little white flowers that are on there now. And so this guy just it ended up being one of my wish list plants, and this one was only, a lot of their begonias are like $14.99, like that's fairly common, and then some of the more rare ones are obviously a little more expensive, and the less rare ones are less expensive, and this one is apparently a less rare one. So this was only $11.99, and I was going to pay, you know, $14 for a cutting of this on Etsy because that's how much it was going for, and instead I got this beautiful, huge plant from Steve's Leaves for the cost, less than the cost that I would have paid on Etsy, because then I also would have paid, you know, for shipping just for it. So I am really, really happy with this plant. It really is lovely, and I'd love to see it in the sun and see what kind of a shimmery it's got on it, because it looks like I can kind of catch it out of the corner of my eye where it's kind of shimmery on there. But yeah, I am really, really happy with that. So I ended up getting two really, really cool plants. And a slug. I know. I'm glad that it didn't really do any damage. Really looking, I am so happy with these. And then I would say, I'm not buying any more plants for a while. But I found out that my friend took notes on my wish list, and she actually managed to get this week. I didn't go on Steve's Leave this week because I didn't want to be tempted, but she went on Steve's Leaves this week and managed to find one of my wish list plants. And so she's giving that to me as a Christmas present. So, well, early Christmas present. She said she's gonna give it to me early, obviously, because it's a plant. So I will be getting that sometime in the near future, but I'm not buying it for myself. It is a gift, so it doesn't break my I'm not allowed to buy any more plants for a little while thing. Oh, look at the cute little, look at the tiny little ones coming in. Aren't they so cute? I'm so happy. This is doing so well. Oh, and then because it's the next day, the begonia, the leaves seem to be still kind of floppy, and I'm not exactly sure. I'm wondering if it's somehow cold damage, because it's just not something I've ever, like I watered it a little bit. I didn't want to water it too much, but it's just kind of weird that the leaves have not perked back up. So I'm wondering if it's some sort of a cold damage, which means that the leaves are just going to die. And then I'll have to obviously, but there's some new growth down in here. So I just kind of I might have to wait for it to regrow. And then I stuck this guy in water, and then and then pulled it out because I didn't want it to stick in water for too long. It wants to be in a succulent mix, which makes sense because it's got, you know, this large tuberous bulb. And from what I read, they go dormant over the winter. So there's any chance that all of these leaves that are obviously not doing all that well in the first place are just going to die off, and this is just going to sit around until spring. And then I won't know whether or not it's alive until spring. Super exciting. But for right now, I don't have it potted up. It's just sitting in a different pot. So anyway, that's just a day later because, like I said, these were coming the next day. So we're going to set these guys out. That is going to be the end of the video, of my plant mail video. If you like this video, go ahead and like this video. If you would like to stick around and see how these plants do, you can subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for coming and sharing in my new plants with me. I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.